Right, I'm back. I am loaded with yet another cold, the joys of having a small person attend school. But I'm here, and we're going to do this. So let's go. What? I don't know what that was. Okay. Off to a great start. Oh, Jesus, I spilled my tea. Hello, wonderful humans of the internet, how are we? My name is Sam Scott-Thorne and I am a vocal coach based in Glasgow. Now, if you'd like to meet and explore your voice a little more, you can find me on sstvocals.com. You can also find me on Patreon and various other social media platforms, and I'll put the handles down below and over there. There's not even enough room to get these things in now because there's so many plants everywhere. But anyway, it's over here somewhere. Or was. Now, if you'd like to consider becoming a patron, you have access to things like early release of reactions, you can fast track reactions, become a reaction, there's special roles on my Discord server, and you have access to all sorts of bonus content, like my Vocal Anatomy 101 series, where I teach you how the voice works. So consider becoming a patron and help shape my channel. Just like Vader's Pet Pig did, they have fast tracked a reaction, and they've chosen Florence and the Machine doing King. I've not heard this song. Apparently it's from her new album called Dance Fever, so I'm excited. But before we do this, I need to say sorry to Vader's Pet Pig, because you asked for this ages ago, and it was like right at the point where I got sick and everyone around me got sick, and then there was roadworks, and then that person over there got their windows changed. It has been an absolute rammy here, so apologies for the delay, but here we go. I'm excited. Let's go and listen to some Florence Welsh.
We argue in the kitchen about whether to have children, about the world ending and the scale of my ambition, and how much is art really worth. The very thing you're best at is the thing that hurts the most.
Now this is really nice. It's a gentler side of Florence and the Machine than I really am used to hearing. I know the big belty sound that she makes. I don't really lean into this so often. There's a low larynx quality to this, so you've got the dark, deep, rich kind of sound coming off of that. She's also keeping it really nice and airy and aspirate. Aspirate just means airy, more air going through the vocal folds. And also some of her onsets are really lovely and croaky. There's a lot of fry going in, so it's and it just gives this overarching feeling of like smoothness. It's a really, really gentle, lovely, easy way to start. Love it.
But you need your rotten heart, your dazzling pain like diamond rings. You need to go to war to find material to sing. I am no mother, I'm no bride, I am king.
And these low notes, when it gets really low to the bottom of her range, she's just letting it go to air. Rather than having that kind of feeling like she's reaching too far down, she's just letting her vocal folds relax, letting more air go through that takes away the pitch, but still leaves the articulators in place. So you get the word, and it's just set to almost like a whisper. Beautiful stuff. I also like the way she sometimes catches the ends of her phrases. They sound a little bit more stretched out. She adds a tiny wee bit of bleat. It doesn't sound like a proper vibrato. Vibrato. It sounds more like she's doing it at the point of her vocal folds, to make them kind of make that little oscillation. Really, really nice. Whereas a typical vibrato is thyroid cartilage rocking. That's what creates the oscillation. So there's different ways to make similar sounds. Really nice.
I need my golden crown of sorrow, my bloody sword to swing, my empty halls to echo with grand self-mythology. I am no mother, I am no bride, I am king.
Really good example of that bleating sound that I was talking about before. It's like ha, like that rather than ah. Vibrato's a wee bit gentler, so if you get the really distinct little glottal stops between, it's more than likely happening at the point of the vocal folds, and they're doing kind of like this. Really, really good though. I'm really enjoying it. I feel like she's gonna like blow her top in a second, which I cannot wait for. Let's go.
I am no mother, But a woman is a changeling, always shifting shape. Just when you think you have it figured out, something new begins to take. What strange claws are these, scratching in my skin? I never knew my killer would be coming from within. I'm no mother.
Now, when she went on to skin, she really lent into the nasalized part of her voice there. You felt a real change in direction, because up to that point it had been super aspirate, which is looser. It's kind of, well, it's more airy. It's less defined by definition. But when she went into skin, she really lent into that more pushed nasalized place, which pushed the tone a little bit further, gave it a real clean push. It was much more closed and made a more distinct sound than the aspirate tone before it. Really nice. It's just playing with these textures and allowing a little bit of difference between the verses. It's a really clever way to do it. Very subtle, very slight, but it keeps the ear interested. Also, her backing singers are doing a really good job, because they're holding straight tone, one note, and just going for it for ages. That's not the easiest thing in the world to do. A lot of people like to do riffs because holding a straight tone is actually really difficult. You're holding a tensity of your vocal folds and a speed of them vibrating for a really long time. That's not the easiest task. So they're doing a really good job. Loving it.
I'm no bride, I'm king.
Pure fry there.
I'm no mother, I'm no bride, I'm king.
That is tons of fry. That's just the vocal folds slackening off, so you don't get a vibratory pattern. The air is just bubbling through your folds. I am. And she's just starting her phrases like that. It's a really good way to add in texture. It's also a really relaxing feeling on the voice. So, love it. Very, very good.
I need my golden crown of sorrow, my bloody sword to swing. I need my empty halls to echo with grand self-mythology. 'Cause I am no mother, I am no bride, I am king.
There's some really, not strange, but there's like breath placements that I don't know why she needs to take them where she is. I feel like she's got a big enough pair of lungs. I mean, that was her first album, was literally called Lungs, to get through some of these phrases. I don't know whether it's an emotional intent. That could be it, because it is making me kind of lean into that little before she starts another part of the sentence, but it feels like it's kind of breaking up a phrase. I don't know. It's a personal choice, but yeah, it's just something I noticed.
I am no mother, I am no bride, I am king. I'm no mother, I'm no bride, I am king. I'm no mother, I'm no bride, I am king.
This feels like a giant tease, because I know what Florence and the Machine sounds like. I know what Florence's voice lends itself to, and it's big, belting sounds. So we've gotten through, almost 2.5 minutes of song, and we've not had any proper belting yet. Is it going to come? Have I set myself up for something that's not going to happen? I don't know. No, she's got to. It'll be now, right? Come on. Nice. So this is the belting that we were looking for. The belt is basically, it's your cricoid cartilage, which sits under your thyroid cartilage. Now when that rocks and makes a separation between the two, you get more airflow build up behind the vocal folds, up to 70% in some cases, which creates extra subglottic pressure, which creates more harmonics, a bigger sound, more bang for your buck. It's a belt. If you find your cricoid cartilage, for the lads, it's just underneath your Adam's apple. For the girls, just root around until you feel kind of a soft part. Tip your head back and go, hey, you should feel the cricoid cartilage move. It could be your thyroid cartilage that's moving, but either way, that space is getting bigger to facilitate that bigger sound. This is what she is known for, this belting sound. It's always really kind of straight sounding, but then she's adding in quite a heavy vibrato, and she's doing something with her jaw as well to kind of make it even more pronounced. It's like, it just makes it even more pronounced. You don't need to tilt your jaw or jut it to make a vibrato. That all happens down here. She is just using that as an extra push to make that even more pronounced. Love it. Nice. Lovely. The band are so good as well.
I was never as good as I always thought I was. But I knew how to dress it up. I was never satisfied. It never let me go. Just drag me by my hair and back on with the show.
All this is being done for emotional effect. All these these big breaths. It's to add to the story of the lyrics rather than her being completely out of breath. These kind of little things that we can pay attention to, like adding our breath into the vocal performance as a whole, is really, really the mark of somebody that knows what they're doing. That also makes me think that maybe that little sharp breath I was talking about earlier was a deliberate thing to add in this little jolt to keep the ear interested. I don't really know, but she's definitely using breath as a vocal element here, and I am here for it. Much more breathy here as well now. It's almost whispered, so you're not getting much tone out of it at all. There's a slight push into some pitch, but not much. This is very much spoken now and whispered even. She's finished, isn't she? And I could have just let it play. Yep. I do that every time. Every time. See how long she kept the emotion up as well though. Like the crowds were cheering for a while and she's still sitting there in the moment. She's a very good showman. She really does just dance, and the way she moves, and she's very like magical, witchy almost. Very good. Love it. Love it. So I hope you enjoyed that reaction. If you did, please give it a like and a thumbs up down below. And if you want to see more from me, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and anytime I have new content, you will be the first to know. Almost forgot how to say that because it's been so long. And thank you to Vader's Pet Pig for suggesting that. It was delightful to listen to. So I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me. And how are we going to buy this one? Full of a stinking cold, so probably not going to sing. So I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me, and bye. That's about the cleanest vocal you're going to get out of me today. So yeah, bye.